Welcome back to another show, BTN Connect. Today's episode is brought to you by the actual BTN Connect app, powered by Athlete Narrative. It's the all-in-one recruiting platform to help athletes get signed, seen, and get to the next level. So today I have the esteemed pleasure of interviewing a kid, and I say kid because I've known him since he was a kid, that I hold near and dear to my heart. My boy Sean Moore. He was a standout at Gulliver, and he was going to basically give us his rundown of his high school career, recruiting process, and where he's at now with sports and stuff like that. It's a pleasure to bring you on, my man.
No, thank you.
How's it going? What's going on?
Going good. Everything's been good, just hanging out, figuring out life, trying to be an adult.
Now that you're done with college?
Yep.
So, all right, so let's go back. Let's just jump right into the meat and potatoes. Let's go back to your high school career. All right, you were a standout at Gulliver, all right? Initially, you didn't go to Gulliver. You transferred there your sophomore year. Where'd you go your freshman year?
Palmer Trinity.
Palmer? And what was it like playing at Palmer? And it's a private school in Miami, guys, if anybody wants to know. So, private school in Miami. I heard you used to play with the now quarterback of Team USA, the esteemed Nico Caceres. Any funny stories about that? Primarily the one where you snatched the band off his wrist?
Yeah, there's a couple, funny stories with Nico here and there. Nico and I grew up, a lot of people know since we were young, since 5 years old, playing together. But in high school, we had the chance to play together. And that's my best friend, my guy. So we're in a game, basically, and we're still really young. It's our 9th grade year, freshman year. We're trying to get it figured out. And our starting quarterback goes down all of a sudden. I would never, ever wish an injury on any of my teammates. You don't ever want to see that happen. But in football, it's real life, right? Next man up.
And it got your boy
the next man is my best friend. So listen, it works out. We're in a bonus here. So I'm like, here it goes. We go to, the sideline, and I'm trying to, let him know, yo, you're good. You got this. Take a second. We're, down 7 or something. And I can see he's kind of, flustered.
Oh, shit.
And I'm like, it's all good, bro. I get it. Our head coach comes over, and he brings out the armband. I'm like, all right, it's time.
This is it.
He slips the armband, and he's like, all right, Nico. He calls the play, and Nico looks at him. He's like, no.
What do you mean, no?
What do you mean, no? He's like, I can't do it. So I looked at him, and I was like, listen, I'm going to need the armband. And I just snatched it off and ran in the game.
And you played quarterback that game?
And I played quarterback
How'd
the
you guys
whole
do?
game. We lost.
Oh, okay.
I'm not a quarterback.
But you claim to be, though.
I got a little bit in there. You can go check the huddle. That's all I gotta say.
So how did you transition to Gulliver, and what type of player were you at Gulliver?
So my transition to Gulliver, right, was a really big one, and honestly a big decision in my life, right? Palmer, I had all my friends, all my teammates, everyone that I grew up playing flag with, we all went to Palmer. So I felt really comfortable, right? And I had to make a decision because I realized my comfort wasn't going to allow me to get to the level that I wanted to. I made a decision at 11 years old. I told my mom my dream is to play in an NFL stadium. That is what I want to do. And not only just play in an NFL stadium, I want to play collegiate football. I want to be a part of this team thing. Team became a big deal to me, like I said. So those guys who went to school with me were, my closest friends. So I had to make a decision, though, what was best for me, and that was really hard because, there's 2 weeks left in my freshman year of school, and none of my friends know I'm transferring.
Oh, my God.
I know I'm transferring to Gulliver, but, on the back end of how things work, they can't find out. So I need to be quiet and lay low. So I have Nico and all my best friends hanging out with me, having normal conversations, and I know I'm about to leave them.
In the back of your head, you're like, I'm gone.
I'm gone. They don't even know. It's a wrap. It was a good try. I tried to help out. We're not gonna win here. I gotta go. So it was really hard, but I had to make a real decision for myself what was best. And I woke up, crazy story, woke up randomly at 3 a.m. and I walked into my mom's room. I was like, Mom, God told me it's time to transfer to Gulliver. And I walked back into my room and I went to sleep. I don't remember ever telling my mom. I don't ever remember the conversation. I know it happened because my mom told me the next day. When my mom told me the next day, I went to school at Palmer. By midday, she pulled me out of school and I went to an interview at Gulliver.
Holy smokes.
It happened like this. So I went to an interview by Gulliver. I was in Gulliver by the next 2 weeks. I took my test, did all that other stuff, and I already went to a private school, so that kind of helped being at another top private school. And then I was at Gulliver. So by the time I got to Gulliver, I wasn't prepared to play the football we play at Gulliver. And that's no disrespect to the other schools or anything.
It's a culture.
We play big boy football And you can say private school, whatever. We play big boy football at Gulliver. Simple, straight blank. We have the dudes to back it up. You can go check out Sean T. I know you guys know who that is. So yeah, we got the people and the accolades and dudes to back it up, right? So when I got there, I physically wasn't in the situation to demand what our head coach, Coach Sims, was giving out. Yeah, I was giving out.
Like physically, like you mean your stature?
Yeah.
Like you were a beanpole.
Yeah, exactly.
A fast one.
Exactly. I was super tall, super skinny, but you know, by the time I got there, I really was kind of underdeveloped in my strength. My skill was there, all that other stuff, but I needed a little bit more strength, not only just for to be strong and armor-wise for football, but also, right, for my speed, for my explosiveness. Like, there were little things I didn't realize. Also, my recovery, right? That was a big thing. Like, I used to have you're growing in high school, right? You're going through all these different changes. So you have a lot of injuries, a lot of tweaks. A big thing is to, like, focus on your recovery. Like, that's another thing. So by the time, you know, I got to Gulliver, I had to kind of develop a little bit, but that's what we do at Gulliver. I really think it's a developing ground to where you get better. So,
right. So how uncomfortable were you when you got there, and how did that mindset of being uncomfortable, okay, I'm out of my comfort zone, all right, how did that help you develop into the next, all right, this is where I need to get to the next stage of my development? How did that help you prepare?
Yep. So I think the uncomfort, right, itself is something that I enjoy, right, personally, and I know everyone's not like that, right? Like, I enjoy the uncomfort because I get to find out a lot about myself. Personally, I know, like, when I get put against the ropes, like, I'm a fighter. Like, I'm going to win. Like, that's just how I am. So when I got to Gulliver, right, I had all of a sudden teammates who are all 5-star, 4-star, 3-stars, and I'm now on a team with dudes where I'm not
the top dog anymore.
I'm not the top dog, right? Like, so now I'm trying to kind of figure out where I fit in that lane, and I think I'm him.
Of course.
Everyone thinks that. We all think that.
Of course, dude.
So, you know, I'm trying to go about that the right way, and you know, the best way for me to go about that is competition. We had to compete. That's the way Coach Sims is. We compete. And it's not only just in football, right? It's little drills, weight room, workouts. Like, how long can you hang versus that other dude? And it's just competing. Can you out-compete that guy? So it took me, you know, some time to work through that. And another thing that I think more younger athletes need to pay attention to, right, is pay attention to your development. Like,
right.
How do you develop yourself? Like, right now, maybe not right away, you're not a starter or whatever it is. Like, I always started until I got to Gulliver for those first 2 or 3 weeks, the first 2-3 games. Like, I didn't start. I was a sophomore in a rotation that had seniors and juniors who were getting ready to go to school, who needed more film and other things. And listen, like, they got placed ahead of me, and it's not in like a...
Oh, it's a pecking order type.
Yeah, it's a pecking order, right? It's the way it's meant to go, right? When I got my dues, when I got to my junior, my senior year, right, I got that same lineage or, you know, help from others.
Right.
So,
did that help you in your development process as well? Seeing those other guys that were ahead of you, see how they put in work, you know, the time that they took to prepare for games and recover as well?
No, definitely. So that was where I was kind of going with it, right? Would be the dudes I got to, you know, be around. I had Robert Burns, who was a 5-star under All-American running back for us, right? Like, I got to watch that guy's work ethic day in, day out, how he treats people, you know, like how he treats his body. Like, so then I understood, like, if you want to be an All-American, you want to be great, like, this is what it looks like. Right. You have someone who's literally in your backyard on your team doing it. Like,
that's crazy.
So it's not, and to me, it's not hard to be different. You just got to replicate other people in your own way.
Well, it's called discipline. You know, everybody wants to get to the top without doing the work. It's the easy way, unfortunately, but it takes discipline to get like a Robert Burns. I'm sure he's been molding his body since, you know, probably youth. So flash forward now to Gulliver. You're a junior and a senior. When did you start getting offers from colleges? And then, you know, what was your mindset when you start getting these letters in the mail? Because, I mean, everybody's gotten, like, you know, even back in the day, I used to get letters like, hey, you know, I'm like, wow, UM wants me. I'm like, I'm 5'9". What's UM going to do with me? I weigh 100 pounds.
No, exactly. Yeah. So like, yeah, that whole process, right, itself is just crazy. My process in recruiting was a long one, right? Like, I didn't get my first offer until my senior year.
Oh, really?
Crazy story. Got my first offer from Navy. As they're giving me my first offer, and my best friend, Deshaun Perry, they flew down to meet us at school. They're like talking to our coaches, They let us know we're going to get offered. Cool. And as they're getting ready to leave, the coach is like, oh, I forgot to mention, like, do either the boys have shellfish, asthma, or something else? Because you can't have that in the Army, Navy, or in a little school. One of our coaches, like, looks down, and he's like,
both of them.
The coach is like, what's wrong? What's up? And our coach is like, both of them have asthma. So basically I call my mom and I'm like, Mom, I got offered. She's like, no way. I'm like, it got taken away though. She's like, what do you mean? I'm like, yeah, my asthma. So basically, didn't get my first offer. So that was like a high and low.
Of course.
Like you said, you're getting all these letters.
Crazy letters. Oh, we want you. Like, you really don't, though.
Yeah, from all these big schools and all that. That's good. I'm doing my visits and stuff like that. But I don't have any big offers, at least for me, from any like D1 schools. And that's where I wanted to go, right? I had some smaller ones that I was looking at, like Denison, Harvard.
Harvard, like the law school?
Like the law school.
I love how you say smaller schools.
Well, they're smaller, but it's a smaller division they play in.
Yeah, you're right, but it's like the largest freaking, largest, school for law and stuff like that.
Yeah. So I took a visit there, actually. It was interesting.
Everything you imagined?
No chance. Their stadium doesn't fit 100,000 people.
Well, that's because they're there for education. Not really.
They are.
I mean, listen, you can't.
You can do both, though.
You can do both.
Exactly.
What's the quarterback? Fitzpatrick. I think he went to like Yale or Harvard or something like that.
Yep.
He's kind of a testament, sort of.
Oh yeah.
So what role did your coaches play in some of your recruiting process?
Coaches played a massive role, and that's what I would really explain, to the young guys and young kids, right? Like, your coach should be someone you should run through a brick wall for, right? Like, Coach Sims is someone who changed my life instrumentally, right? He taught me the principles of what it looks like to be a strong man, not only a strong man, but a loving man. Like, you can do both. You can be strong, and you can also pay attention to people's emotional needs, right? You can look out for others while looking out for yourself. Like, it doesn't have to be a selfishness kind of thing. And having someone around that you can trust, really, right, through these tough times when you're going through all these ups and downs, and you're talking to these people right now, especially with NIL, people you don't know that really
I just
care
have no
about
interest
you.
in only money.
Only money, and they want to see their team win. Like, that's just the end of it, right? But when you have these people who are around you can really trust, right, you can go to them with big things, right? When I was getting ready for my commitment to Virginia, crazy story, but Coach Hagens came down, my receivers coach, came down to visit to watch a basketball game that Deshaun and I were playing in. Deshaun was committed to the University of Virginia by that time. They came to watch us in a basketball game, whatever. Deshaun's my best friend, so they already know me, whatever. Talked to them a little bit. Cool. Next morning, I wake up, I go to Coach Sims after having a great talk with Coach Hagens for like an hour after, and I'm like, I think I want to play for that guy, Coach. Like, I know we're not supposed to go to a school for a coach because they can be gone, but there's something that's different about this guy. He has something about you that is I need again in the next stage of my life to grow. So I have this conversation with Coach Sims, and later on, Coach Sims calls me in the office, he goes to work, does what coaches do, and he lets me know Coach Hagens is coming back down to talk to me and some stuff like that, have some talk with Coach Hagens and them. Offers right then at that time weren't fitting right based on, we only have a certain amount of offers to give for a school. So offers
I've never been recruited by a college, so I wouldn't know.
Well, every year, every team, right, every class has a certain amount of offers that can give in there. So by the time I was the last one to commit out of like my just class period, point blank, whether it was walk-on, not walk-on offer, scholarship, didn't matter. So I was the last one to commit. So by the time we had no more scholarship offers, thankfully, the big thing, kids, pay attention to your education. I was focused on my education, right? So I understood that I could help myself in other lanes. And not only that, the opportunity to go to UVA, to go to school where I can do both education and sports, right? Be a student athlete, but student comes first. So I focused on that in high school. I had the GPA, I had the SAT scores. So I was able, right, to have certain grants or certain aids and whatever it is.
You qualify
with football and stuff, they figured it out. Listen, I paid $0. So that's all that matters. It doesn't matter how you get there.
Focus on your education, kids.
Right? And that exactly, focus on your education. That's really what matters. They will find ways to make everything else work to get you on a football field. All I needed was a chance. Of course. I knew that. I just need a chance on a football field to show I belong, right? I understand I don't pass the eye test. I'm 175 pounds at 6'2". Like, I get it. But once you step on this field, you'll see why.
It's a different.
You'll see it. It's a different thing. Like, so, just that whole process itself was.
What was your biggest? If you had to point out a biggest challenge, what was your biggest challenge with recruiting itself? Did you face any particular challenges? Did you apply to different schools, or did you just kind of wait to see what offer came in and then went from there?
Nope. So I was going to a bunch of different camps. Like my mom had me on a tournament like camp schedule. Almost.
Oh, really?
Like through the summer, we were going through my senior and junior. I want to say we went total probably 20 camps, 25 camps. Like we were going to camps in Boston, where I went to Harvard's camp. She basically made a trip, right? 11-day trip with me and 9 other teammates. We went to, if you were getting recruited, we went to your school. We all played in the camp, so you're already getting recruited. They're looking at you. Now they're looking at every other Gulliver kid.
Damn.
I'm getting recruited from Harvard, right? So I took me and all my other boys. We all went to Harvard. I let the coaches know, yo, my boys are coming with me. Now my boys are getting looked at by Harvard, right? So we went on this whole, through 9 different states. I can't even yeah, for 11 days.
Your mom coordinated all
My
that?
mom coordinated it.
Shout out to mom.
Shout out to my mom, right? She is the homie. But
Listen, I saw her travel to Worlds this year, and I'm like, is that your mom?
Yep.
She's just vibing with her dog.
Yep,
you know,
loves
hanging out.
football. My mom loves, we eat, sleep, breathe football.
That's
We
awesome,
are
man.
a football family, man. So.
So let me ask you a question. So obviously, from when you were recruited to now, a lot of advancements, technology, all these things. If you would have had something like the BTN Connect app in your day, where you had access to a radar page, where you had access to, pretty much any coach, any school, anything that's in the U.S. that, based on where you were at, if you would have had an app like that would have been able to connect you with thousands of coaches, what do you think your recruiting process would have been like?
Honestly, I think it would have been, it would have been a boom. To be honest with you, I would have jumped through the roof, right? The ability to connect with all these coaches at a snap of a finger, right? And not only just that, I know that they have Hope, their AI system, right? And it allows people to be able to find the best way, right, to send these emails out in the best way to speak correctly and, to get across the point for what you're trying to get across. Of
course.
And that would allow anyone, and especially me in this type of day, right, to boost my platform in a way that you can't really.
You can't do that in a written form.
In a written form, right? And it's not only just a written form; it's the way that you can send it out to everyone at mass, right? It's hard to talk to all these coaches and all these different places. The more you can get your name out, the more people can just see you. Even if it's an email, if they read it, if it's a camp invite, it doesn't have to be an offer, right? You just need an opportunity. That's what enough kids don't understand. You need opportunity, and what this is giving you is opportunity. And whatever you do with your opportunity, right, is on you. But opportunity gives you a chance of success.
Absolutely. So give me a brief story, or give me a brief story on when you get to UVA, obviously you've gone to Gulliver, you've already been through that whole high school process. Now you're back to square one again, where you're no longer the top dog.
Yep.
All right, you get to now, UVA is not by any means, a second-rate program.
Nope.
It is a top dog school. For anybody out there, UVA is still a top dog school. You get there, what's your first impression, A, of your coach, and then B, is college football everything that you imagined when you step onto the, to the weight room, the field, the things you participated with your teammates?
Yep. So I guess we got to backtrack a little.
All right, sorry,
Right.
I jumped ahead maybe.
No, I didn't give you the full story. So commit to Virginia, and I've never visited.
What?
Never.
You never went to the school?
Not one visit.
God.
So, boom, I'm a Miami boy. Driving with my mom into Virginia, Charlottesville, Virginia at 9:00 at night. Get to school on my first day. We're driving in, and I'm seeing all these trees and like brick buildings. And I look at my mom, and I'm like, I don't think I can do this.
Oh my God.
And she's like,
Oh, you're doing
it's too
it.
late. Like, there's no going back. Like, you're stuck. I'm leaving, and I'm not coming back to get you. So I'm like going through this panic, like, oh my gosh, I'm stuck here. Like, life's about to change. Like, so that was like, honestly, the first start to all this, right? It's like culture shock, right? I think the hardest thing when you get to school as a first year is dealing with being away from home and being by yourself, figuring out time management and how to do things. All of a sudden, right, you have all this free time, like, but you still have your coaches and people who are over you, but you have your free time.
Right.
And you're like, yo, what do I do?
Why doesn't anybody tell me what to do?
Exactly. You have all this time, right? So you're trying to figure that out. And then, like I said, I'm in a new culture for myself. If you go to a different school, a different place, right? So from Miami, slow. Yeah. Charlottesville is slow. It's slow paced. Everyone's super nice all the time. People wave when they drive. I was like, what is this? What is going on?
Why are they waving at me?
Why are they telling me good morning? Like, what? But good morning, but that itself is its, own struggle. But I would say the biggest thing that came along with that, right, is confidence. Because one, you're trying to find yourself in a new place, in a new space, right? In a new ecosystem. Then upon that, you're also trying to find yourself on the field, right?
Right.
And to many of us athletes, the field is home. That's where you find comfort. But you're trying to do it in a new place where you question if you fit, you question if you're good enough, right? I'm playing in the ACC. I'm playing talent. For me, one of the biggest things that stepped up to me, right? My first time ever I line up, and one of the guys out there is Bryce Hall. Like, Bryce Hall is the #1 projected DB my freshman year. I'm like, oh,
shit.
Life's about to get real, my boy. Like, this is what it is. Like, this is what you wanted. But I understood in that the competition was going to make me better, right? Freshman year, you're on scout. So I'm getting to go against Bryce Hall. Like, that made me a better player.
Absolutely.
But it also helped build my confidence, right? Like,
if I can beat this guy.
Little stuff.
Beat
like,
anybody.
You could beat anybody, but it'd be little stuff. Even, like, as having a great teammate, right? Because, like, there's times Bryce would strap down. But then there's time you get me, I may win or get a catch or something. And he'd be like, hey, youngin, like, I see you. Like, or like, I'm paying attention to you. Or like little stuff like that, right, builds you up, builds your confidence, right? Especially when you're young, when you're trying to figure it out. Especially when you're someone like me who's not, I don't fit the eye image. I don't fit the seeing eye test. When you look at me, like, that dude's a killer out there. Like, it's okay, you'll find out.
Right.
But, I don't pass that test. So that was the hardest thing for me, I guess, once I got to college, right, was keeping my confidence, because there was a point where it dropped off, right? Plays come at you really fast, right? I'm on a shorter leash, right, because I'm not the big dog anymore. We got a bunch of big dogs on the team, and in college, it's fast. It happens now, right? So I go out there, and if I make a mistake, you're coming out. But that's in the back of my mind every time. So I'm running out there trying to get play calls. I'm tired, right? So now I'm messing up on stuff that I know. But it's because I'm worried, right? So it's finding that confidence for yourself, right? Once I took that time to realize, like, I'm meant to be here. This is where I'm meant to be. And I had other great teammates and, coaches remind me here and there, like, you got this, you can do it. That helped me kind of come along into that. But I definitely think confidence and just, like, figuring out where your lay of the land is kind of the hardest parts at the beginning.
Awesome. All right, so to wrap up here, all right, if you had to give the youth these days the 3 biggest pieces of advice besides the BTN Connect app. All right, I'm not gonna let you escape on that one, because I'm gonna use that one. All right, besides the BTN Connect app, what are the 3 biggest pieces of advice you have for youth today? And that's how we'll wrap this one up.
The 3 biggest things I would have for the youth, right? Number 1 would be understand who you are as an athlete, right? Don't try and act like anyone else. Don't try and be anyone else. Be who you are, right? Like, I was cool being the smart kid, like, who could do both, right? People used to make fun of me for that. Like, haha, you get straight A's.
Like, you got a 4.0.
You're right. Like, yeah, like, I'm so sorry. Like, I do well in school. My bad. I forgot that wasn't cool.
Right.
Like,
sorry, I got a 4.0.
Yeah. But know who you are. Know what you're into, right? I knew that I wanted to play at a big time school, right? That was D1, but I knew it was extremely important to play at a school that had great academics, because I knew football does not last forever. The NFL stands for not for long for some of y'all. So you're not going to play forever. So figure something else out. But you have to have a backup plan, right? So that's something else I would say, right? 2, have a backup plan to whatever you're doing in life, right? A plan B. If something doesn't go right, be able to pivot. My mom and I always talk about, pivoting, right? If you can't go left, that's okay. Find another way to go right. Just figure out a different way to get around the set of blocks that you have. Don't ever get stuck, right? And then the 3rd thing I would say, really honestly, would be never ever, like, compromise the things that matter the most for the things that matter the least. My coach's wife told me that, and it will stick with me for my lifetime. Miss Higgins, shout out to you. Once again, never compromise the things that matter the most for the things that matter the least. And, those would be my 3 things.
I got nothing to follow up, Miss Higgins.
Miss Higgins.
Miss Higgins. I got nothing to follow up with that.
She's the GOAT.
I appreciate your time today. Amazing interview. I love your story. Obviously, I know you personally, so I get to know a little bit more about you, which I love already. So, all right. Well, that's it for us today. We'll catch us on the next one. Thanks again for joining us, my man.
Appreciate you, my guy.
Appreciate you.